Okay, we're going to look at turns and making turns in an area. And with this, you might want to, like have something that to draw on, make little notes, stuff like that. So basically, we're going to look at some basic turns, real easy. In Watertown and our surrounding areas, we don't have a lot of two-lane roads. Waconia has some, that they have these two lanes going in one direction, but for our use, we're going to look at kind of what to do from one lane, but we're going to also kind of talk about the two lanes at the same time. So with this, when you're taking a left, okay, when you're taking a left, what you want to think is no matter taking a right or a left, what you're thinking is drive to the middle of the intersection or kind of, into your lane and then start your turn. So if we look at this right here, this kind of area right there, you want to basically drive your car straight to it and get your bumper right on that middle line and then start your turn. Many of your parents are going to be, thinking you're crazy because you're going too far. They want to start the turn back here. And what it ends up doing is it ends up cutting over the yellow line. Many of you probably have seen your parents, or possibly, I'm not saying your parents are bad drivers, but many of them have cut across a yellow line because they've leaned too far into a turn. The leaning into a turn basically puts you in harm's way when there's a car right in this area. So that's why we want to drive as far as we can and make a good left turn. Now, why don't we turn out to this second lane? That is a big no-no right there. No, we do not want to do that. And the reason for it is this car has come up, can stop, and then it can continue into this lane. Okay, so that's why we always turn into the first lane available. Make sure you make that note. Turn into the first lane available going in your direction. Then, with this right turn, we're looking at, you want to make sure you're turning into the closest lane going in your direction, which is this first one. And again, we drive out, bumper out here, then turn. Most of you are going to have a situation where you're going to drive too far and you're going to do this, or you're going to do this and you're going to run over the curb. So you're either going to run over a curb or you're going to drive out and then have to swing back really far. And really that just comes down to the timing of your hands and the steering of the car. So you don't have to worry about it. Don't feel bad that things happen like that. Just it'll take practice. Now, here's one where as you're driving along, you know that you need to both turn at the same time. They're not going to come through. You're not going to be going through on their lane, so you can both turn at the same time. Then you get into one-ways. And with this, you can see this is a two-way, but a one-way going onto it. Now, you turn into the closest lane available going in your direction, which would be this top lane. However, over here, if you're on a two-way going into a one-way, the closest lane going in your direction would be there. Why can't we do this? Why is that a no-no? Because, again, a car is going to come up here, and he or she can go there. So that's why we can't have that, that bigger, wider turn, unless they tell us that we can. Now here you've got the one-way to a one-way, and so this is good. This could be good right here, but of course this car does have the right to also go straight. So if they have to turn and they have to turn, yeah, we're going to do that. It would look more like this, where both lanes are supposed to turn no matter what, and this lane would be the one driving straight through. Then, of course, we have these multiple one-ways where we can go straight in the middle too or turn. So if you just kind of keep that thought in mind, it's always best to turn into the closest lane available going in your direction. So you always think, what's the next lane for me? And not going against traffic.